Well, hello, saltines. Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Valentine's Day or not. A lot of people don't like Valentine's Day. It's just not a thing for them. Whatever, that's fine too. So, however you're spending today, I hope it's been a good day. We got a horrible situation here coming out of, again, Kansas City, Missouri. What's going on out in Kansas lately, ladies and gentlemen? Well, to be honest, there's crimes like these everywhere, every day around the planet. This just happens to also be in Kansas City. So, before we get started with this absolutely awful, terrible, disgusting story, it might trigger you. It does regard a baby, newborn, 4-week old. So, just if that's going to be too upsetting for you, pass on the video. I'm just reporting what I've read online and some videos that or one video actually that I watched on this case. It's not pretty. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button now. Don't forget about my second channel, Audrey Christine. That is at Audrey Christine 58. We're doing other things over there, cooking, chit chatting, menopause, making your own passport to get your own life. The life you want and deserve is happening over on my other channel. So please check that out. That's really important. Okay. Um, oh gosh. How do I even start this story? Honestly. Kansas City, we have a 26-year-old woman who has had a 4-week-old baby girl, Zariah. Mom mistakenly, is that the word? Mistakenly puts the child in the oven and the oven's on. This is another one of those cases where I say truth is absolutely stranger than fiction. This is so bad. I don't think they would even ever put this as a fictional story somewhere. It's too awful. So let me read to you some information. I'm just going to read you this from Nancy Grace. It's written out really well. Obviously, it's a Nancy Grace channel that I got this information from. This happened a few days ago. So today's the 14th. I think this happened on Friday. What day was that? Friday before the Super Bowl, whatever date that is. I don't have my calendar in front of me. I apologize. So, Mariah Thomas and her 1-month old baby, Zariah, live with Mariah's parents. Zariah's grandparents leave for work just before 8 a.m. on Friday after 1 p.m. Mariah Thomas calls her mother at work, hysterically screaming something is wrong with the baby. Her mother tells her to call 911. Mariah Thomas reports her baby daughter is not breathing. When Mariah Thomas's father comes home, he smells smoke and runs to the baby's crib. He sees the baby. He sees that baby Zariah looks burned. He picks her up, realizing his granddaughter is dead. Mariah Thomas says she was putting Zariah down for a nap and thought she put her in the crib, but accidentally put her in the oven. That's hard to swallow, isn't it? First responders arrive to treat what they think is an infant who isn't breathing, but instead they find the baby with what appears to be thermal injuries on various parts of her body. She is wearing a bodysuit, a onesie, over a diaper, but the clothing appears to have melted onto the diaper and it appears very dirty, possibly burned on the backside. A baby blanket with significant burn marks is found in the living room. Thomas has been arrested for allegedly placing her baby in an oven, resulting in the death of the 1-month-old child. Mariah Thomas faces the class A felony of endangering the welfare of a child and the first degree death of a child. So, one thing that kind of bothered me watching this on Nancy Grace, and I like Nancy Grace. I normally agree with her, but her opinion on this case really just wasn't sitting well with me. Can I hear myself? Can everyone hear me? Okay. Um Now Nancy was talking about Mariah the mother complaining while she was pregnant with Zariah that she's tired of being pregnant. Oh, that's a red flag. Oh, that's the warning. Everyone should have known she was going to kill that child. She hated it. It's not fair. No matter no matter if this woman, Mariah, is guilty or not guilty of killing her baby on purpose, that's that's a statement a lot of women say. A lot of women when they're what I call 10 months pregnant, because sometimes it feels like you've been pregnant for years per pregnancy. I never felt that way because being pregnant to me was I would love to have just stayed pregnant the rest of my life. I just loved being pregnant. As uncomfortable as it was, and each pregnancy did get a little bit more difficult, um, I enjoyed it. But everybody knows that's a thing women say. I am just tired of being pregnant. I just want to have my baby. I just want to hold the baby and, get on with life so we can travel, so we can go here and go there. Cause right now I can't do anything and I can't walk. My feet get swollen. So, yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of the pregnancy. Can we get to 40 weeks right now? Please, somebody help me. But Nancy, throughout the whole broadcast, continued to voice that she's not buying it. She's not buying anything that's been said in defense of Mariah. Not that there's much, but more importantly, she's basically saying Mariah is guilty because Mariah said she was tired of being pregnant online. I just disagree with that. Mental health is a thing. And I have depression, and so many of you also have depression, and when I lived at home with my mom would be like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "It's just my depression." "Well, what are you depressed about? You have so much. You have you get to travel, you have a good job, it's not about what you're depressed about, it's depression. The entity, the monster of depression. And I am not defending this woman, Mariah, at all, but let's be honest. What the hell? N- a normal, sane mother is not going to put her baby in the oven. Was it postpartum depression? Then throughout the broadcast, I'd say the last third or quarter of the broadcast of Nancy Grace, it's talked about that Mariah has mental illness. Well, okay. So let's talk about that. Was Mariah like so many other people who are just ignored with their mental illness and thrown some pills at and forgotten about with no follow up? I mean, no, none of us can imagine accidentally putting the baby in an oven that's on. What was the temperature on? Not that it matters. I'm just curious. Was she thinking she was baking cookies? Was she I don't know, baking a cake or something? It's so much deeper than the surface. Must you? Must you? I'm busy right now. It's my cat. Is she legally insane, Mariah? She's in general population at the jail. They're saying she's fine. This goes so much deeper than what it appears at first. And just because the prison or jail, whatever it is, put her in general population, that doesn't mean it's the right fit. Doesn't mean she shouldn't be a classified 5150, somebody that needs to be away from others and under serious protection, um, observance, medicated. Because when questioned, the parents or grandparents of the baby, this guy just doesn't leave me alone. Okay, all right. The parents were saying they were fine when we left for work. So they were fine when they left for work, indicating maybe they're not. Maybe Mariah's not always fine. Can we read into that? Can we assume that's what they meant? Is that what they meant when the parents said, "She was fine when we left her"? To me, that could possibly potentially indicate that there have been some problems. But Nancy also got on the case of this 26-year-old because she lived at home with her parents. Well, that's a red flag. That's what she said. I lived with my parents till I was, what, 52? Basically, I have Benjamin here. He's 27. So what? Oh my God. That's so stupid. A lot of families live together now. Why? Because Mariah didn't have a man with her that she is not okay, Nancy? I'm not sure I'm understanding the finger pointing here on this one. There's a deceased child, 4 weeks old. That's pretty serious. Now, something else that Nancy Grace was talking about is, well, Mariah's guilty because she pleads the fifth. She's not said a word. She handed over her cell phone and her social media information, kind of basically saying, "Why is that moving? Did the cat's tail just hit that? Why is my sign moving?" I'm going to say it was the cat. Mm, all right. Let's just say it was the cat. Probably was. So Mariah's pleading the fifth. She didn't give a testimony. She didn't give, when the investigators questioned her, she didn't say much at all and asked for an attorney. So again, Nancy's saying this girl's guilty because she's pleading the fifth. Anyone would plead the fifth, and most times they get arrested, whether they're guilty or not guilty, whatever the charge is. Most people will just clam up and not say anything. So, because Mariah has not given a reason or story behind this, Nancy says this is what happens. Let's move ahead a year, 2 years, whatever. We're in trial now for the death of Zariah the baby, 4 weeks old. We're in the trial. The state prosecutors bring up the fact that Mariah wouldn't even give a statement. That seems okay to me for them to say that. It's true, isn't it? Well, that automatically qualifies as a mistrial. If either parties or anyone brings up during a trial that Mariah Thomas She used her Fifth Amendment right to not speak. It's an instant mistrial because as an American, that is her right. That is her right to not give a statement, to not say what happened on her in her mind. So again, Nancy Grace is saying this girl is a professional. She knew what she was doing. She knew to plead the fifth. She's guilty. Nancy's ready to throw this woman in the oven herself. Yeah, so Mariah chose to remain silent. Is she legally insane? I'm trying to tap into her as a psychic, and I have to say, I don't feel insanity as much as I am feeling an episode. What does that mean? Some sort of episode, some mania or some sort of not a breakdown, an episode. And then it's like she wakes up and she's like freaking out, obviously, that her baby's dead, burned. And at what point did she pull the baby out of the oven and put her in the crib? Because when Mariah's father got there, the baby was in the crib. And then apparently grandpa put the baby in a car seat and was at the front door ready to go to the ER when first responders showed up. Now, Mariah Thomas will be back in court on February 20th. So we'll see. That's going to be nothing, probably. She'll just say they'll probably just be assigning an attorney to her or something like that. Um, when you're in an episode, having a breakdown, having when you're manic, nothing seems reality is gone. Your senses are gone. So, a lot of time I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I just know from being in therapy so many years and just doing these cases and stuff that you kinda lose your mind for a minute. You lose your mind. And it's not a hall pass to do bad things. But if everyone wants justice and everybody says, "This girl has rights," well, then give her rights. She's supposed to be innocent till proven guilty, isn't she? This is a case where I think I would agree with the process of innocent until proven guilty. Yes, she did it, but why? I mean, I guess it wouldn't be completely innocent. It would be more of a manslaughter type of thing. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't think this young woman planned on doing this. I don't think she turned the oven on, put the baby in, and the rest is history. I don't think that's what happened at all. And I'm looking forward to hearing professionals talk about her behavior, her past behavior, and if she was suffering from postpartum depression. That's a real thing. It's awful. Postpartum depression. It's different than regular depression. I've had both, and it's just weird. It's like, oh my God, having depression isn't enough. Now I get to have this other kind of depression. It's awful. And then we just end up thinking that we're bad moms and, don't deserve the baby and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys think on this case. I'm looking around at Spirit right now. What was that other case? Oh God, yeah. I don't know if I'll do I don't know if I'll do a video on another case. I don't even have the names of the people or where it was at or anything, but it was a baby who was decapitated during delivery, and the hospital didn't tell the parents the baby was decapitated. They wrapped the boy up in a blanket real tight and held the baby kind of up like this through the window so the parents could see the child, who they were told this child's dead, but not why he's dead. No one said why he's dead, and it took days and days for the parents to, be able to see their son who who allegedly was decapitated during delivery. It's so dangerous having children, isn't it? It's really shocking how well most births go, and successfully, but that's another awful case. I can't imagine. I cannot, you'd have to medicate me if that happened to my child during childbirth, being decapitated. I can't even. I've seen a real decapitation in person, traumatized me for a long time, but for it to be my relative, my child, no, I think you'd have to, put me away for a while. That's another case, though. Different young another young couple. Alright, well, that's all I have for this case for now. What's going on with Trichonis? I haven't watched today, but it's just a lot of blah, blah, honestly. The thing with the Trichonis case is this: I don't think it's enough to convict Michelle Trichonis. I mean, to me, it's so obvious she was involved. She knew that Fotis was going to kill Jennifer. She, basically agreed with it, went along with it, helped do the cleanup. Her hands literally have blood on them. Michelle Trichonis literally has blood on her hands from Jennifer Dulos. Is justice gonna be served? Probably not. Show me a time. Show me one time, put it in the comments. One time justice has been served in a murder case. One. Tell me one. Give me one case. Can you name one case? I can't, not, because there's no justice in murder. There's not. Well, Audrey, are you saying that we just have to be miserable the rest of our lives and live without the justice of our loved ones? Well, kind of, yeah. Which is why I desperately beg people to get the laws changed so we can stop seeing so many of these crimes, so many of the murders. There's no justice. I'm not telling you to feel awful, but it's a little curious to me how people quote move on once the trial's over and maybe the person got life in prison or the death penalty or whatever. That's not justice. It just doesn't make sense to me how you could feel like justice is the perpetrator, the criminal, the whatever, the murderer staying in jail the rest of his life. Yeah, it's going to be hell for that person. But in my opinion, since there is no justice, let's start let's start taking away some of the rights of these individuals. Let's start giving way, way worse penalties to these people who are guilty. Let's be less tolerant of these people who are guilty. Like I've said before, take them take them to a little island, drop them off. Dump them out in the ocean. I don't care. Would that even be justice? No, that wouldn't even be justice. So why do we treat them so good? Somebody chopped up all these women. Well, let's give them 3 square meals a day. You know, I can't. I just can't, you guys. I just can't ever agree that that's justice. It's not. It's not. So frustrating. By the way, I don't think I mentioned on this channel, I'm going to London. I'm going. Few weeks. Few weeks, I'm out of here. I'll be in London. So, I'll be doing live shows from London, but probably not on this channel, on the other channel, Audrey Christine. We're gonna go together. My passport worked. There's London right there. It came into my life. I'm going, and I'm going soon, and you can come with me. You can go to the airport with me. I'm going with Benjamin. I'm gonna document the whole thing and just enjoy myself and relax. Take Benjamin to some places he's not been before. Shop, antiquing, whatever, walking through the gardens all around the city. Oh god, I can't wait. So, go to the other channel, subscribe to that channel. I got some things going on over there. It's a completely different feel than this channel, you guys. We do I want you to see that I'm just a person, okay? Yes, I'm psychic. Yes, I talk to dead people. But I'm just a mom. I'm just a wife. You know, I don't wanna say I'm normal because I'm not like most people because I have these weird abilities, but, yeah, I cook, I clean, I do stuff. Um, I've shared some of my art on the other channel, so go to saltypsychic.com to see some mini canvas paintings that I've put up for sale. Check those out. All right, you guys, I gotta go. I'll see you soon. I gotta get back on YouTube and start watching some more of these awful stories. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Ciao. Happy Valentine's Day.